We'll be live.
We'll be live.
Hey.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and happy birthday to you.
And happy birthday to you too.
Thank
What a pathetic coincidence. You could not have made this thing up. Like Jesus, you and I, we share our birthday.
Yes. So guys,
and you know who
Christmas.
else? Yes. You know who else shares our birthday? You probably wouldn't.
Newton.
No, you probably wouldn't
Newton.
care. Nawaz Sharif.
Oh, okay. Well, I would go with Isaac Newton first.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's more global. Nawaz Sharif is just ex-Pakistani prime minister. Yeah, everyone talks about it. It's like, I know the founder of Pakistan supposedly was also born on 25th of December. However, some historians have questioned it, but I don't know.
Well, Jesus' birthday has been questioned as well.
Oh,
apparently, he was born in September.
Yeah, of course. But for some reason, great people choose to be born on this day. So I don't know. I'm the great one. I know that.
Yes.
What about you?
I'll leave that to you.
No, we'll leave that. We'll leave that for people once we're gone
to decide. Yes.
Yeah. For them to. Okay. You usually they honor you after you're gone. So.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're killed by some crazy fanatic, don't worry, we'll remember you.
Thank you. Who do you think it would be? Would it be some radical Muslims or some Hindus or the government of Iran?
Ooh, government of Iran. So government of Iran, if they wanted to do it, then obviously that would be much difficult to evade. But a crazy fanatic can do it. But I think that as we keep going, I think it becomes less and less probable.
Yes.
Do you think that? Because there's just way too many of us.
Yes. Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah.
Yes,
just don't disclose your position in Toronto. You live? I didn't narrow it down. No. I think you live somewhere in those northern parts.
Okay. Let's stop talking. But guys, so for people who just joined, other than being Christmas, right now it's also me and Harris's birthday, which is very strange, odd.
Like very strange, odd, weird.
Yes.
I remember Ali Rizvi once he tweeted about it, or maybe put a post on Instagram. It was very beautiful, I think. He said, "Merry Christmas" or "Happy Birthday," and then he said, "I don't know about Jesus, but I know one great guy was born on this day. Happy birthday, Armin Navabi." That's what he said. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Surely you would remember that.
Yes,
I
remember. I do.
Yeah, but I butchered it. His was very eloquent. Obviously, it was in written form. So when you write something, you are a bit more eloquent and articulate.
Yeah.
So what's on the agenda, Armin? Because I have some really, really juicy stuff as well.
All right. So we have 6 Patreon questions. So guys, if you guys want to get your questions answered, you could become a Secular Jihadist patron. Also, please become a Harris Sultan patron as well.
I don't get any love. I don't get any love from anyone these days. Not even on my Urdu channel. I'm so disappointed. Even my Urdu channel is just. Oh, it's okay. Well, I guess that's okay. That's right. It's a thankless job. I get it.
Oh, you're being so cute, so you could get some support.
Well, I'm trying my best. I'm being as cute as I can. I'm trying to charm my way out of this this dull period in Superchats, but well, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Guys, give some super chats for Harris's birthday on his channel.
Yes. I remember one of my friends actually did a stream on his birthday. He freaking made like $700 or $800. I should have done that in my Urdu stream. Damn.
Oh.
I should have done it. Well,
okay. Well, you can still do it after this show.
Yeah. No, it'll be too. Well, in Australia, it'll be by the time we finish, it'll be 26th Boxing Day by then. That's all right.
Okay. All right.
So 6 questions.
6 Patreon questions, so we could go through them fast. But I want to see what you have first because it seems very exciting.
No. I have so much, and you make me go first, so my muscles haven't really, relaxed or whatever. But I want to go as Yeah, I'll keep popping them up as we go.
All right, let's just warm up with some questions. We have some questions from D.
Right. Okay.
So D is also here in the live chat. Let's see. All right, Patreon question, but from D. What should the U.S. do about the asylum seekers gathered at the U.S. border? She also provided an article, I think.
Is it the U.S. Mexican border? I'm assuming. Obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course.
And does that include Ukrainian migrants as well?
No, just mostly from South America, different countries from
right.
South America. That they all come up to Mexico. Mexico is also. Well, I think making the asylum seeking process a lot more faster. I think asylum. I think the main problem is the illegal crossing of the borders. So I think instead of being the problem is a political one. Like the solution is a very easy solution. It's just that there's a lot of xenophobic tendencies among many Americans that vote Republican, because United States could benefit from allowing in immigrants a lot, both economically and also like the social harms and the criminal harms are very much exaggerated. The only thing that makes the crime cross from the borders is the illegal activity, and if you make the asylum seeking legal process of the asylum seeking process faster and with a higher volume, it reduces the illegal aspect of it. Also, all the money that people pay to cross the border illegally, the United States could collect that legally itself. So again,
Look at the camera.
So United States could basically compete with all the illegal activity that all these asylum seekers pay. Like sometimes they pay up to $10,000 sometimes just to be able to cross the borders, right? So United States could be charging, I don't know, $5,000 and make the whole process illegal, streamlined, get everyone's name checked, put everyone in a system, and make the work that they do in United States legal, so you could also collect tax from it. I don't. The solution. Everybody who analyzes the situation knows that the answer is pretty straightforward and simple, and it doesn't harm the United States. It actually benefits the United States. The problem is that politically, you have to pay a lot of capital for it. Because you are allowing immigrants in, right? And a lot of the xenophobic tendencies wants to believe that that's harming the United States, even though it's not. So that's the problem. If you could, so the solution, this political solution is a straightforward one. Then why is it not happening? Is that the actual solution is for us to fight xenophobia, so that eventually the people who vote end up not resisting this obvious solution. What do you think?
Well, obviously, it's easier said than done. That putting them into the system of United States. I was just quickly Googling how many asylum seekers the United States take each year. And I think in 2021, they took nearly 350,000 asylum seekers from all over the world. In comparison, Australia takes only 10, 15, or I think 20,000, something like that, and very low numbers. Canada is very generous as well, given the size of the population. So there's a huge discrepancy. My only worry is that if it becomes easier for the South American countries to obtain asylum in the United States, the quota of asylum seekers the United States can take each year is going to increase. I think that significantly, it just increases by 8 or 9% every year. The year before there was 9% less, and then the year before 9% less, etc. So, for example, a lot of ex-Muslim asylum seekers that I know of have been waiting for 4 or 5 years. A couple of them are waiting to go to be resettled in the United States. But they're waiting because COVID happened, and then the Ukraine war happened, and they just keep getting pushed further and further back, just purely by virtue of being in the close proximity of the United States. I don't know if they should eat up the limited amount of places US has. I get it. Wherever, it doesn't matter where you are. Like if you are a genuine asylum seeker, if you have these problems, fair enough. It doesn't matter. And if you're closer, your application gets processed sooner, then so be it. But I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I mean, if you put it in the system, and that's what you're saying, well, put it in the system, go through the application,
raise
verify.
the quota. Raise the quota.
Yeah, but how much can we raise though? I mean,
a lot.
Half
a
a
lot.
million? Half a million a year is not enough?
No. Like, well, I mean, every study shows that there's a lot more capacity and it's beneficial. Every single study shows that most countries, the vast majority of countries that are like first world or like more advanced, significantly benefit from much higher levels of letting in immigration.
Okay, yeah, and I take it, and I think South Americans bringing in their set of values would not be that much of a problem. But what happens with migrants coming from Muslim countries? Now, again, I know there shouldn't be any distinction or discrimination, but people bringing their own values would always be a problem.
United States and Canada benefit from having an ocean between them and Islamic countries. So that when the Muslims who come to Canada and United States are usually more educated and from a higher skill set, because they can't just literally get on a boat or a back of a truck and they cross the border. They actually literally have to go buy a plane ticket. So it's already a major filter, which basically reduces, like, the Muslims who come to United States and Canada are like from a different class and higher level of skill set and education, and you usually are not radicalized. In fact, in the United States and Canada, the level of radicalization that they experience is from their homegrown. Like if any Islamic radicals in United States and Canada are born from not so radical parents and are radicalized because of consumption. This is why, if you're worried about bad ideas really don't recognize borders, right? Because bad ideas could just cross through the internet. And it's not just the people who bring the bad ideas. Ideas spread without borders. So higher border security is not a really efficient way of like reducing bad ideas. Like if you just some level of screening, and also screening for skill set and everything, that will already do that. If you want to fight bad ideas, there are other things you need to worry about. But again, United States doesn't even have, and Canada don't even have that. When it comes to immigration, you're right, we're looking at South America, and it's mostly xenophobia rather than like values that people are bringing in. In fact, conservatives are kind of like hypocritical. You actually touch up on a very good point, because
did I don't know that.
No, because here's the thing, because when they talk about Muslims, they make it seem like it's about the values that they're bringing in, right?
I get it. I know where you're going with this. Good. Go on. Yeah, I did it. Go on.
Yeah. But then they have the same kind of reaction to a group of people that are mostly Christian conservative, right? And have when it comes to family values, church going, they are pretty much in line with American Republicans.
Yeah.
But they're still as hostile, even more hostile, to them coming into the United States as to Muslims.
So basically you're saying that if they feel that they are more liberals, they're more, people who them they people, let's just say, if they feel that they're more them they people in America, so now shift the balance in their favor again, I think they need to bring in more conservative Christians. That's what you're saying, basically, and where else to get them other than the southern border?
Yeah, but they showing their hands. It's not about values. It's about xenophobia, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because if they actually cared about values, all of a sudden, okay, well, here's your Christian conservative coming from the South, to let them in then. Like, okay, so you don't want to let them in. So it's not about values. So this whole Islam bad is for you. It's not about ideas. For you, it's about people. You hate the people.
Yeah, this is, I'll reserve my opinion because I don't have to give an opinion or a final opinion on everything. Well, I think we can move on.
Dee also
Sorry.
shared this along. She wanted to know what we think about this. I mean, this. So the title says 150 years wait to get a green card. Indian H-1B visa holders hold protests in Silicon Valley. Yeah, this is another example. Like these are people of that you need to let in. This is good for everybody. This is good for the these visa holders. This is good for the United States. This is literally top talent that boosts a country's economy, and you're making it difficult for them. Like if you should make it for anybody, easy for anyone to be able to enter your country, are these people skilled talent. Like it's almost unfair to other countries because
a lot of these countries like Pakistan, India, or whatever, they say that we have this massive brain drain because of America, these H-1B visas. You're right, and especially Indians, they make up the best sample exemplary immigrants everywhere you look at. In America, the highest earning families by ethnicities are Indians. Pakistanis are like number 4. They're still above the white Americans, but that's just ridiculous. But Indians are exemplary no matter where they go, everywhere. They're just, I don't know, there's something about their values that they obviously are very, they can integrate better. They don't have conflict. But I do worry where it's going to go, though, because we are seeing, people becoming more proud of their Hindu heritage in these Western countries as well. So I think we're going to see more in the coming years or decades.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think that that's much of a concern when it comes to Indians coming in working with the tech industry. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to. I think the transfer of influence is the other way around.
What do you mean?
I mean, I think like if you are worried about right-leaning conservative values, letting in having immigrants and trade happen between India and progressive or liberal countries happening the influence is stronger on the other side. Like this helps. It doesn't make European or North American countries more conservative. It makes India more liberal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, fair enough. Okay. Can we move on?
Yes.
Speaking of,
so here's the next question.
No. Can I go? Can I go with something?
Go ahead.
So speaking of bad ideas, people bringing in bad ideas and how bad ideas are so prevalent on social media. I mean, we shared some from Imran Khan. And by the way, this is not necessarily an immigrant's bad idea. It's just U.S. conservatism, what we shared last week with Imran Khan. And she, by the way, she actually suspended her Twitter account for a couple of days because she couldn't handle the heat after body shaming some women. But anyway, so she came back and same rhetoric. But I'll just bring it up. Are you ready to hear something so bad that I just want your commentary on that? Come on, unmute yourself. I want to hear your genuine frustration. This is from your compatriot. Okay, so I know you don't believe in collective shame or collective pride, but you should be ashamed of producing someone like this.
Okay, let's see it.
Can you read it? No, can you?
Let me add it to the stream. Oh, Daniel Haqiqatjou, who's the reason why Harris is saying that, because Daniel is an Iranian, just like me. Okay, what is he saying? If you say yes to college for women, you are essentially saying yes to your granddaughter on OnlyFans. Wow.
Look at the rationale. Next line.
The college to OnlyFans societal pipeline is just a mere matter of decades. Okay. How? What? How? Why? First of
So
all,
yeah,
I
go on,
don't.
go
I
on.
don't understand. I also want to say that I, I don't like how OnlyFans is being used as an insult here. Okay,
Yeah. Let's just
so like,
let's just go with that. Like, okay, OnlyFans is bad and degeneracy, and the West is going down. Let's just go with that at all. But let's have a look at the depth of his argument, where he
mm,
says that education to women equals debauchery. Like, there could be 1,000 other branches going off, but
mm,
he is only concerned about OnlyFans. This is a problem with these simpleton, these religious fanatics, idiot dickheads. Um, by the way, it came off at the back of, as you heard, Taliban have banned all forms of education for girls and women, even university, private tutoring, everything's gone. Everything gone. No education, zero. So
mm.
he is defending that. And this is the best argument that is bringing forward that if you educate women, like if you say yes, that is cleverly said, college for women. Fuck. He didn't oppose school when school education was banned for girls in Afghanistan as well. He didn't oppose any of that, but now he's just saying college because that was just the in word. So he's saying if you give higher education, let's just go with that with the steel manning. If you give higher education to women, that's going to lead to strip clubs, OnlyFans, porn industry.
Okay, so I want to mention that this is as outrageous and stupid as it is. You might be surprised for me to also say that it's actually genius. This is, yeah, no, this is okay. This when it
This
comes
part?
to no, the whole thing is genius. Okay, because this touches on what is referred to in Islam as qairat. Okay,
Gharat,
this is
yes.
yes, this is
Honor.
like Daniel touching exactly the most sensitive part of a older conservative man's brain. He's poking exactly where it knows hurts the most.
Appealing
Okay?
the honor, self-honor, as you know, in the West, people
Yes.
most commonly know honor killing basically is that's what it stems from. So honor, it's like, hey, don't you have any shame? Your daughter is gonna end up on OnlyFans. That's what he's saying.
You're right. This actually reflects exactly how women are often used in Islamic societies as a way to justify Islamic ruling, is Sharia, okay? Because no matter what the shortfallings of Sharias are, or Islamic countries are, or the lack of freedom, or anything that you might complain about as somebody who's living under Sharia law, okay? The one thing that a conservative Muslim or a conservative person who is not even Muslim but has been influenced by a religious upbringing, the one thing that they appreciate is to control women, okay? And fear mongering about what could happen to your women if you don't put them in chains is exactly how you sell Sharia. This is the most effective way of selling Sharias. And Daniel knows that. Daniel knows that my baby girl on OnlyFans is the worst nightmare a conservative Muslim man could imagine. So if you could make them imagine that, they will go with anything, any solution that you could offer them, including full on Sharia, including putting the entire world under the caliphate. That would be like, yes, please save my girls, save my daughter. I do not want to even imagine that ever again. And that's where he's going. And he knows Daniel is smarter than that to not understand that this is obviously a fallacy. Okay. He knows that this is like a very idiotic generalization, but he also knows how effective this comment is. So, as stupid as it looks, it's actually genius.
I think
You're
you're
muted.
giving, I think you're giving me extra credit, but I don't think so because I think these people think very mono-dimensionally. Because, for example, in his debate with me, he made the argument that if you empower women,
Mm-hmm.
then you're gonna give them economic freedom, and as a result, they're not gonna make as many babies, and as a result, you have falling birth rates. So it is a very linear, one-dimensional way of thinking. So I think he does believe that. So if you educate women, they can. He is willing to let go. And if you drilled him on that, he would actually tell you this. Well, what if she becomes a doctor, or engineer, or an astronaut, or whatever? I'm not gonna take that risk, because there is a possibility that she might end up becoming a prostitute or an OnlyFans. Again, these things are not mutually inclusive. So, the OnlyFans are not necessarily prostitute, and being a prostitute is not a really bad thing either. So this is, I think they think that way. Somebody made a very good argument after they heard, after this news came out, that the Taliban have banned women education altogether. That, okay, if you don't send your girls or women to medical college, I would want to see what happens to these Taliban leaders when their wives are giving birth. So are they going to send them to male gynecologists? Of course not. But you know what? In this case as well, women are going to be the one who's going to be suffering, because they're going to go to old school midwives who just pull a baby out with no medical training, with just rudimentary traditional training of, okay, just pull the baby out, bring me a knife, and then cut the umbilical cord, and that's it. And a lot of women die during those primitive childbirth processes. So it's a win-win for people like Taliban, and it's a lose-lose for women. In every single scenario, a woman loses in this situation. And then they wonder, these people, these fuckers. I found an official Taliban account where they were showing some dude walking by some ghetto where some people, where there were a lot of actually, let me show this. Actually, I'll show this. It might be on my.
Oh, don't take that away, because I want to respond to that later.
Okay. So anyway, so this Taliban Twitter account, official Taliban Twitter account, and yeah, they have a voice too. They were making fun of America by showing some homeless people on the streets. Ha ha ha! This is America, the richest country in the world. Ha ha ha! Look at all these homeless people, or whatever. But people were trolling them, which was good. That they were like, oh, these homeless people still have a better standard of life than your top, rich, best of the best in Afghanistan. But I do want to share this video just to
wait. Yeah.
No, just give me a sec. I think it is relevant to it. I know you want to go back to it, but I do want to show this so people can conceptualize what's actually happening in Afghanistan. There are these women who, I'll mute this. There are these women who are just, protesting in Afghanistan. There were some men who walked out of their university halls, university examination halls, in solidarity with those women. But later on, with these guys, later on, I haven't been able to verify it, but on social media, there have been videos doing rounds saying that these men were rounded up and beaten up by the Taliban, while these women were also protesting and crying. And there was literally, there's nothing going to happen. I do want to touch base with another idea as well, where a lot of people, I see these videos, and obviously it touches us, because, you feel like, especially people like me, because I'm only like, I was born in Pakistan, and I happened to move out of Pakistan. Pakistan is not as bad as this, but Pakistan could become as bad as this. Who knows? But I sometimes wonder, why are some of us lucky enough to live our lives the way we see fit, but these women, there's so much talent is going to be wasted. One of the women in these videos she was going through medical college back in the 90s. She's 52 years old now, something like that. She was going through medical college. Taliban came to power back in the 90s, and then they forbade her they forbade all women to go into college. But then she came back. Well, obviously Taliban were ousted, American-led democracy came in, and then she finished her medical degree, and then she became a professor. And she was a professor in one of these universities when these Taliban barged in and they said no more. So she gave an interview. She was like, they did this to me. They wasted my precious years, but now they're doing this to these girls. And there's nothing we can do, and the world abandoned us. So a lot of people say, oh, America did this, and because we feel we're hurting. it hurts us to see that. Hang on, I'm okay. Why are these people? Why can't they just have something as basic as get freaking education, realize your dreams, do achieve, like sky's the limit kind of philosophy. But I go into American interventionism. So America is bad if they get involved, and they're bad if they don't get involved. So I don't understand what the solution to this problem is. But either way, this is terrible. But people like Haqiqatjou and that woman Samira Khan, she was still, simping over this Taliban, the same woman that I showed you last week, who wears bikinis and all that, and former Miss New Jersey. I just don't understand what goes through these minds. These are absolute hypocrites. Haqiqatjou's own wife studied at Harvard. Haqiqatjou apparently did some certificate from Harvard, and he is now homeschooling his kids. It's just I don't know. This is a very unfair world we live in.
Yeah, I do want to respond to the post that you had from Daniel Haqiqatjou, if you could bring it back up. Okay, all right. So here's the thing. I think the best response to this for people who want to actually analyze this, like without just calling it like idiotic, is if you think about it, if you're concerned about women selling their bodies, okay, you have to look at the net effect, right? So women, there will always be a portion of the of women who are going to be involved in. Can you bring it back up?
Yeah, I am bringing it up. I've got something better. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So there will always be a portion of the population that will be involved with prostitution, right? Our concern as liberals is not prostitution. Our concern is the type of prostitution, right? The prostitution that the woman is involved in, how much she's in control of what is happening and how much her safety is being guaranteed during the process, or he, right? If you look at the effect of college and education on the level of prostitution women, it's actually the other way around. So what Daniel is suggesting is educated women are more likely to be involved in prostitution, but it's actually completely the other way around. It's lack of education, which leads to lack of control and also lack of economic power, that is more likely to get a woman involved in prostitution than a woman having access to education, right? And also, if a woman is involved in something like OnlyFans, rather than the prostitution that poor women are involved with, this is like OnlyFans is a lot safer model that guarantees her safety and the person's control over the transaction and control. Like there's no other person that is basically selling the woman or abusing.
I'm going to be devil's advocate here, though.
Let me. So there's 2 points. Okay, there's the numbers and also the kind. When it comes to the numbers of prostitution, lack of education and lack of economic power is more likely to lead into prostitution. So
in a free world, though. But in a free world, though. But not in his world, not in his world, because he's not just going to ban women from college. He's also going to basically, imprison them in their houses. So can you imagine an uneducated woman becoming a prostitute in Taliban-style running government?
Well, he's talking about education in general.
No, I think but we know that his bigger goal. No, but we know his bigger goal is to create a Taliban kind of country.
But he advocates for women not getting educated in the United States and in Europe. Like he tells Muslim women
with that end goal. But with that end goal,
would he say, if what you're saying is true, would he say like, okay, get educated until we get to that world? He doesn't say that.
No, he doesn't
say. He wouldn't say, don't get educated, don't go get educated. Yeah. But when we have a caliphate, stop getting educated. He says, stop getting educated now. So that's what I have to respond to that. But here's a question for you, Harris. If you have
Well, before you go into that, I'll go. So I basically just because it's such a stupid response, I just tweeted to that. So if you say yes to Islam, so let's just go by his worldview. If you say yes to Islam, then you're essentially subjecting your daughter to wife beating, sex slavery, and marital rape. This can happen within a year. If you don't believe me, you just have to look at Taliban's Afghanistan. Would you agree with that statement? Like again, like if we just follow very one-dimensional, straightforward, ignoring all nuances, and very overly simplistic thinking.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Under Islam. Yeah. So here's a question. Do you wait? So you're saying if it was full on Sharia, would I think the woman would be exposed to sex slavery, beating? Yeah, of course. That is okay. So if you come to our liberal world now. Okay, if you had a daughter, and she was in university, and on the side she was also wanting to experiment with OnlyFans, right? Would you be okay with it?
I would be. I would try to talk her out of it. I would talk her out of it because purely not sex shaming her or anything, because I'm thinking that if you're doing this to make extra money or whatever, I would tell her there are better ways to make money. There are better ways to gain notoriety and fame than this, because I know, again, this is going by my own experience and my own worldview at that time, that you might not like it 10, 15 years down the track. So I would try to shield her. I'd try to protect her. But if she still goes on and does everything, I'm not going to disown her or anything.
But why would you suggest that this is not a good way to make money?
Because, as I said, like let's just say she could become a sports star. She could become a scientist or something.
She is becoming a scientist.
Yeah.
So she's getting educated. Like, she's going to college and she's getting a degree.
Yeah, but
she has some free time at home. She was like, why not send some pictures?
But at the same time, this is what I'm saying. Like, you may not like, because if we protect some bits that are very private to us, because I think emotions like love, sex, and some emotions like that are very strong emotions, and they are better. They're worth more to you. They're more precious to you if they're kept private, because if they are for the world to see, you might not find joy in those moments as much later on in your private life. This is my opinion, and again, I would tell her that. But as I said, like, if she doesn't heed advice or she goes on her own way, I'm not going to disown her.
So she might even like it, the fact that more people are watching it. You say like, oh, you might. She's like, no, I'm actually getting joy out of the fact that I know so many.
Yeah, at that moment she would be. Yeah, look, as I said, I would tell her that. Yeah, at this moment you are. You might not like it when you're 35. When you have a daughter, you might not like it again. But we're talking about 2050, so we don't know how the world would be at that time.
Yeah,
people
so
might not
if we lived in a world where this was so normalized that people are like, oh yeah, like half of the girls in college, they had an OnlyFans account, and that's just something so normal that if you get old, let's say you're in your 50s, so let's say in 2050 this was so normal, right, that in 2090 it was like expected that I did that back in college, so it wouldn't be a taboo, there would be no shame associated with it. Then in that situation, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, why wouldn't
well, I would be one of those old men who say, oh, back in my day, the kids these days have no shame.
You know?
and I've always said it. Look, I've always said it. I have always said it. Look at every old person around you. He or she always tells you this. Oh, back in my day, things were so great. And when you look at it, no, you guys were homophobes. You guys did not. You guys were very brutal in the streets. The rapes and murders that used to happen in your time were terrible. It's just this nostalgic feeling. But again, we would be a dying breed at the time. The world would be inherited by our children, and they will decide the morality. They will run the morality. So yeah, that's just that.
So maybe
certain values. certain values, as I said, certain values we would not be able to. I would not be, like, as I said. So this is even by today's standard, this is very liberal. That I'm okay for my daughter to, like, I would not disown you, I would not hate you. But if you did do it, but I would try to discourage you from doing it. But again, as I said, my parents' generation, if I was a daughter, they would say, I will definitely disown you. So there's a progress. So my daughter might give a different advice to her daughter. So that's just how it is.
Yeah, but if you give that advice, it would be with the understanding that your advice might be bad advice, and you might just be
yeah, but it's a gamble. Vibes. Yeah, but it's a roll of the dice, though. It's a roll of the dice. You don't know if you don't know if the world would become like that. The world might become like that. People may not even be interested in other human beings, because you could just go to Amazon and you could digitally create your favorite robot, and then you say, well, order it, press it, pay $5,000, and there's real life model looking like robot walks in that feels like a woman, but she doesn't nag or doesn't give you any shit, and you can just fulfill your desires. We don't know that. This is why I say, this is what I was trying to talk about you, that this whole concept of family, whatever, all of these things, these ideas are constantly evolving. We cannot even imagine how the world would be in 50 years' time. Our innate desires will also change. Some people say that our biological desires may take thousands of years to evolve, and our biological desires may not evolve as quickly as our technological desires, but technological evolution. But I reckon it would. I reckon our technology will have direct impact on our biological activities as well. For example, look at our attitude towards porn. We view sex totally differently from people who were born 100 years ago. 100 years ago, an average man would have seen only one set of titties and one vagina, most likely. A champion might have seen 5 or 6. We've seen freaking thousands. We've seen freaking thousands of vaginas, and unless some girl looks like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, we're like, yeah, we see her on the street, and like, yes, that's not impressive. Like, come on. A guy from 100 years ago would freaking lose his shit over a girl that we rate as 5. Again, I'm not saying that you should do that, but sorry, I'll wrap this up. So my point is, our biological desires and activities are also evolving, maybe not as quickly as our technological evolution, but it's catching up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we should have a discussion about this, because what you're saying suggests that maybe porn is messing our heads and like making it.
Isn't it a given? Isn't it a given? No. Don't you?
Well, that's a huge discussion. It depends on how much you consume, but we could talk about that, right?
What about 3 times a day? I'm not talking about me.
We should, guys, like, maybe next time we should have that discussion. That's actually a good one.
Hey, Tino, take a short out of this. Make a short out of this. I think this was a good spiel.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so this was funny. I wanted to. Brother Ben was like, "Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm late. Thanks for waiting. Let's begin."
Thank you. We've been waiting for you for the last 43 minutes.
Soho is saying, happy birthday, Armin. Happy birthday, Harris. Also, today is Isaac Newton's birthday. Yes, happy birthday, Isaac Newton as well. Oxymoron is also saying, happy birthday, Armin. Happy birthday, Harris. Happy birthday, Harris. Happy birthday, Armin. Also, happy birthday to Jesus. It's not Jesus' birthday. Jesus was apparently born in September, but
yeah, we'll just go by what he says.
Yeah, okay. D is saying, take a look at this Republican Congress member literally crying over same-sex marriage protections. Yeah, did you see this? This was amazing.
No. Okay. Show me.
Let me bring it up.
Congresswoman.
Yeah, she literally cries. Hold on.
Businesses who contract with the government and no protection.
So wait, let me give you the background, right? So in the United States, now we have federal law mandating this, right? So that if it's because a lot of people are worried that marriage laws are going to be recognizing gay marriage is going to go away because The Supreme Court has changed and everything, right? So the federal, now we have federal law that if you are married, like you don't have to, even if gay marriage is not legal in your state, if you as a gay couple has been married anywhere else in the U.S. where it's allowed, your state has to recognize it. That.
Okay, good.
And because a lot of Christian politicians and everybody was hopeful that the Supreme Court is going to save the United States from all this degeneracy, this lady now cries about, like, please don't pass this. Please.
No protections for Christian businesses who contract with the government, and no protections for civil servants that justly believe marriage is just between a man and a woman. The bill's implications: submit to our ideology or be silenced. This is yet another step toward the Democrats' goal of dismantling the traditional family. No protections for Christian business, undoing our
Why is it not going?
And permanently undoing our country's God-woven foundation. This is the Democrats' priority. Well, Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you my priority. Protect religious liberty, protect people of faith, and protect Americans who believe in the true meaning of marriage. I hope and pray that my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing this misguided and this dangerous bill. I yield back.
Oh my God.
Look at the one on the left. She couldn't even bother. I mean,
oh my God.
Why do they get? Why do people get so fucking upset over who's doing what with who and where, like in the privacy of their home? Why did you see? This is how contradictory this. I was on Twitter Spaces and I was arguing with this Christian guy. By the way, by the end of it, I got him to say yes to abortion, albeit in certain circumstances. But yeah, he agreed. I was like, it's actually a very good argument, and I'm sure it would have been formulated like that by someone else, but I hadn't heard it from anyone. It just came to me. Anyway, so I was saying, isn't that amazing that these right-leaning people are always about liberty, like founding fathers. Yeah, then it has to be liberty. But then the whole concept of marrying religion into or getting religious value and imposing that on other people is against liberty, personal liberty. And then a lot of Christians actually say that individualism over collectivism is a Judeo-Christian value, which I heard Ben Shapiro harp on about that as well, which is like their views are so contradictory. And she quoted religious freedom as well. Yeah, religious freedom, you should have your religious freedom. You should be able to do whatever you want and practice your religion. But why are you imposing your religious values on two people who have nothing to do with your religion? That's contradictory. Where's the liberty in that? Where's the liberty? Or where is their religious or lack of religious freedom?
Well, that's what they mean by liberty. They mean their liberty to impose their values upon others.
Exactly. That's not what they're supposed to mean, though.
Yeah, but their understanding of religious liberty is that you should let us impose our ways upon people.
Is that really how they understand it?
Yeah, because every time you try to actually do liberty, they're like they say that you are not recognizing our religious liberty. So it's not a joke. That's their defense. Like, that's what she said. They're like, what about our religious liberty? So when they talk about liberty, they mean like our liberty to force this upon you. I guess. So
I don't know. And maybe you're right. Maybe, and this is probably the reason why they're always worried about people bringing in the foreign countries and taking over America, because they think they would have their religious liberty then they would be imposing their religious values on us, which we don't want. Therefore we gotta keep America Christian.
Yeah, that's why the Satanic Temple is so useful, because they have religious liberty as well. But here's the thing, this is a lot of, like, when you see this woman cry, I just want you to understand, for people who are watching, that this family, like, when we're talking about politics and society and economics and improving the well-being of society, in a brain of a conservative, everything, all of this rests upon the the bricks, which is a nuclear family, right? So there is no higher priority than saving the family from the degeneracy that is liberalism, because that is how you, in their mind, how you crumble empires. There is no force in the world that will survive if it doesn't have this brick, like this foundation of strong family values. And they, in their philosophy, they even look at previous empires and they think other empires have calmed down because they didn't recognize this. The strongest empires have came down, and this is what's going to happen to the United States if they don't recognize this as well. So this is why they're so they think that we missed the point. We think like they're being intolerant to gay people, but they see themselves as the saviors of everything that is wholesome and is traditional and that is good about society. That's how they see themselves.
Yeah, pretty stupid take though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
Yeah, but you see, but this is why these people end up, or maybe I'm just thinking, maybe is that us? Maybe we just can't see the side of the argument, because how can fully grown up people behave that way? Like, for example, Haqiqatjou's argument, whether or not what his intentions were, and you think that he might be smarter than that, but he knew where it's going to hurt them the most. That's why he used the honor card. But he's still hoping to sell that argument. So then he thinks that the people who are going to read that, 37,000 people or 3,500 people saw that. So he thinks that his friend or people, his followers, are stupid enough to actually buy his argument. So religious people are stupid then. I mean, they logically incredibly incoherent.
I mean, you have to be religious.
And that's coming from, and this is, I know you and I we're saying that with a straight face, but we're not saying that as a childish insult. I mean, if your worldview is so messed up that you can't even see a logical fallacy, something that if you told a kid who was 8 years old, and if you ask them three lines of the 3 layers of questions, like, oh, kid, we believe in freedom, he'd be like, okay, daddy. And then you say, kid, I'm going to impose my will on you. And if he knows what imposing will means, he'd be like, that kid is going to say, but dad, you said that I have freedom. Then I would say, no. So a kid would be able to see that this is contradictory, what these people preach.
Well, do you want me to play the devil's advocate on this?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I want to see some sense in their arguments.
Right. So even us liberals think that for the sake of liberty, there are certain liberties that should be taken away.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
When you believe in liberty, you cannot make everything allowed, or else basically that would be the paradox of tolerance.
Yes.
If you tolerate everything, tolerance as a whole will go away. So there are certain things which is the foundation of the society that you have to impose, and you have to make it not free for the sake of freedom. So we liberals believe that as well, right?
Yeah.
So if we liberals believe that, and that's not contradictory, we say like you cannot tolerate intolerance. For the sake of tolerance, you shouldn't tolerate intolerance. And we also talk about the paradox of tolerance. Yeah. Then why can conservatives also believe that? They're like, okay, yes, we believe in liberty, but for the sake of having a society which is functional enough to have liberty, there's certain things that need to be imposed.
But I know that argument, but there's a key difference. We're minimizing taking those rights away. So they are maximizing. They're not. They're maximizing it. They're maximizing it. Okay, homosexual, no multiple marriages, no sex outside of wedlock. Now, if you look at the liberal values, you might see 1 or 2 sprinkled restrictions here and there, which would be in line with the overall philosophy. For example, being tolerant.
I mean, they say that they are minimizing it. They're just focusing on something else that liberals don't agree. They say actually liberals, they are, they tell you what sell this, don't sell that, don't say this is racist, this is bigoted. They cancel you if you don't agree with you. They say that they're tolerant, but they're not tolerant of your ideas. They're only tolerant of your skin color. I mean, they are they can't hear.
So, I get your point, but I get your point. But do you think if you and I decided to write down on a list of things that they would like to ban, and I, as a liberal, would like to ban, you think your list would be longer, or my list would be longer?
I mean, you could shorten their list if you just mention it as we are in favor of traditional family values.
Yeah,
but then you can make it.
Has to be
but you can make
expanded.
it. Yeah, you could make it look long or short depending on how you like. Hey,
No,
we
that
just
would be
like it.
dishonesty. No, that would be dishonesty, because we will.
Right.
I understand there'd be a set of values, which is
Mhm.
like a constitution, but when you go into the specifics of legislation, then yeah, you see books after books. But yeah, so
I think
traditional
what
family values,
matters is
underneath that, underneath traditional family values, you'll have tens of things that would
Right.
be
I agree
contradictory
with you.
to
I
that.
agree with you that theirs list would be longer. However, I think what matters is what you ban rather than how many things you ban, right? I think that the main difference, the reason why are the things that we ban, again, one fallacy they have is also that they group us liberals with woke people, right? So a lot of the things that they associate with the left-leaning people banning, it's not actually the entirety of the left, it's just a woke part of the left. The liberals are actually not trigger happy with the banning of things, right? But what we want, the main difference between us and them is that we have good arguments for what we want banned. Okay, but
No, but
they
think,
don't.
but they think that they have good arguments too. But
Yeah,
I
I
reckon
know.
it.
No,
I
but
reckon
they're
it
wrong.
does. I reckon it does matter not what we ban, but how many things are they banning, because I think that matters.
I
Because
think
if the
I
list is,
think the argument for what you ban is more important than
I'll
how
tell you
big the
why.
list is.
No, because the bigger the list, the more contradictory you are in terms of pure numbers. If you're banning, if you're advocating for 10 things that are contradicting personal liberty, which you agree that is a good thing, but yet you are giving a long list which contradicts that, and I only have 2 or 3 things that contradict my liberty, then like I win hands down. So I reckon the list matters. They can't just lump in traditional family law. Then they put everything in it: premarital sex, or women education, women empowerment. They could, that list will get longer and longer over a period of time. And why I can say it so confidently, because we have a 2,000-year-old human Christian and Islamic history to prove that.
Right. Actually, this is a very good point that you bring up, because American conservatives have the unfortunate inconvenience for them that traditional U.S. values is liberalism, right? So they want to at the same time be traditional and conservative, and also be at the favor of liberty at the same time. And these two don't really go hand in hand, right?
Libertarian values. That a lot of Republicans are libertarians. That they claim
I know
they're
libertarian, but they're not. But okay, but again, you can see with their voting records that they're not. What I'm saying is that Islamic conservatives don't even have to pretend that they are in favor of liberty. You know what I mean? Like, we have the American conservatives. They're like, yeah, they look like hypocrites. They're like, oh, liberty, 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 and they want to ban everything under the sun. But Islamic conservatives are like, yeah, screw liberty. Like, we don't like, why this constant obsession over freedom is actually why we are in a degenerate world like we are, right? So they didn't have that contradiction.
I think we should move on. We should leave it to the people. Let us know what you think about this in the comments below. And yeah, I'll try to read as many comments as possible.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to answer this very quickly, because Dee is asking, can you explain what is happening with Salman Sayyidi Yasin, and if this is a significant or if this is significant or just an Iranian media difference? So let me just quickly bring people up to date with this, because a lot of people might not know what you're talking about. Salman Yasin, which is a Kurdish rapper, wins appeal against death sentence in Iran. So that's basically the gist of it. And if you look at what's happening, is that 2 people seem to have, like, based on what I'm understanding, because this is like, you're asking things that are just happening within the last like 24 hours or stuff, right? So 2 people seem to have their appeals were being accepted, but their appeals being accepted doesn't mean that they're not going to be executed. They're just going to check and reevaluate whether they're going to be executed. There was this guy and this guy seemed to also have his appeal accepted, but within a few hours after, they came in and said no, okay, his execution is being confirmed. So this is Muhammad Qobadlu. So his appeal was reported to be accepted, but then no. So تایید حکم اعدام محمد قبول فرجام خواهی سامان سیدی. Okay, but Farjam, but yeah, the other guy, Saman Sayyidi, his appeal has been accepted. His appeal apparently was accepted, but then it was like, nope, sorry, you are getting executed. But the reason why I'm bringing the second guy is because things change within hours, right? So now we are told that his appeal was accepted, but given that we also thought his appeal was accepted, and then they confirmed that no, he's going to get executed, I don't know what's going to happen with him. So just be on the lookout. Like, don't if just remember that someone's appeal being accepted doesn't mean that they're not going to be executed. The pressure still needs to be on, and these people are just all over the place. Like, there doesn't seem to be any organized. They just, like, you hear one news and then 4 hours later, like, oopsie, nope, sorry, made a mistake. We just executed him, right? So this is just all over the place. It's messy. The judicial system in Iran seems to be on cracks. The executions are happening very fast without much structure. The lawyers that they have access to are not the lawyers that they pick themselves, or lawyers that are picked by. Oh, Harris, I want to mention something to you about the lawyers that these people in Iran have. If the court hearings are actually public, they've televised it, and we can show it on YouTube, because anything they say is considered forced confession, and YouTube has a policy against forced confessions. But you can see their lawyers, the lawyers of the defendants, is helping the judge to confirm that he's guilty. Like, that's how insane the situation is. So everybody
like basically these are show trials.
Yes, it's a kangaroo court. It's like, it's insane. Like, the defendant's lawyer is providing arguments and evidence for why his client is guilty. It's so insane. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
So can I actually play that video of that guy, Iranian guy, who said what to do at his funeral or something? Do we know anything about him?
We know. Okay, play it with that audio, but okay. I will tell you what, because we cannot play that.
Okay, this one, yeah. This one.
Yeah, because this could be considered a forced confession. I don't know. Okay, actually, no. You know what? Let's not play it. I will just tell you what he said.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was arrested. This guy that you just saw. He was actually recently executed, and he's now turned into. He's dead. Yes. He's been that guy that you just showed. He's executed.
And he was one of the protesters. Yeah. Let's give a bit of a backdrop. He was one of the protesters.
He killed 2 Basijis with a knife.
Also, he did kill.
Right? Okay. He did kill, but he killed them while the Basijis stormed and attacked his neighborhood, and he came down. So he didn't go to the protest. The Basijis came right to his door. So he wasn't a
protester. Okay, right.
They came to his door, and they were causing like a chaos, and he came down to protect his neighborhood. So he was defending his neighborhood. He didn't go to the Basijis. The Basijis came to his neighborhood, right? And he basically took a knife and he went there to defend his neighborhood, and he killed 2 of them.
And I want to add something to it, because so I keep seeing that again. Neighbors, Pakistan is a neighboring country, and in Pakistan people.
Do you want me to tell you what he said?
Yeah. Tell me in a sec. But I just want to say I read the subtitles. But I do want you to explain that. But I just want to say that when religion is shoved down the throats of people, this is what happens. And the amount of courage that he displayed, I wasn't aware that he had killed 2 people. But regardless of that, you can never know what circumstances people are. But his bravery was truly inspiring. He basically said something about, don't have, like, he did not care. He did not give 2 Fs about Islam. He said something like, "Don't do my funeral according to Islamic ways" or something. Isn't that what he said?
Yes. So apparently, also, Susanna just last night showed me a post that shows that he was an atheist. Okay, so one of his Instagram posts. So while he's arrested,
atheists are not brave. Who says atheists are not brave? Look at this.
Yeah, can you actually pause the video so that the subtitles are not showing, so I could bring his picture up? Because
okay, all right. How do I? Okay,
just pause it. Just pause it. Yeah, just pause it. Yeah, that's a good scene. Yeah, okay. So you can see he's surrounded by government forces, right?
And they cover their faces. Cowards.
They cover. Yes. So while they're asking him a question, the interrogator tries to embarrass him. They're trying to shame him because they're about to execute this guy, right? And the interrogator wants to put a video out there to show how vile and disgusting the person that we have gotten is. But so he says, like, I heard that you have a will, like you have written your will, and he says, yes, I have. So that's what he says. And the interrogator asks, so what's in it? I heard you told people what to do after your death when you die, like when we execute you. So like, yes, I asked them not to cry, but to celebrate, like celebrate his life and stuff. Like, no, but and then the interrogator says, like, no, but you mentioned not to read the Quran. And like, yes, I told them not to read the Quran, but celebrate. So don't read the Quran at my funeral. So the reason why this interrogator asks him is to show, like, look at this vile man. Look at who we arrested. We have somebody who has in his will, who is in his will, he has said, don't read the Quran at my funeral. And unlike the expectation of the interrogator, like they expected this to be embarrassing and shameful, but that turned him into a hero. And it also shows how many Iranians have gone past Islam. That when somebody says that don't read the Quran at my funeral, that in Iran, that's enough. While you're arrested, this level of bravery, that's enough to turn you into a hero in Iran. Like, we are post-Islam Iran. Like, this is post-Islam Iran. That's how far we've gotten, that this makes you a hero in the minds of the people.
And not only just that, can I play that video where this guy said, well, maybe it's not the best idea, but yeah, this one, have you seen this video where he just set this, that's not a mosque anything, but it's a religious seminary. He sets it alight. But anyway, I'm not going to play this video, but you can go ahead.
Check it out yourself. People who don't know what we mean by Basiji, it's not Baghdis, it's Basiji. Basijis are plainclothes religious police religious police in Iran. Yeah. So
again, I would re-emphasize the point that when you shove religion down people's throats, they will rebel. I can't wait for the day that when I wake up and I hear that the Islamic regime of Iran is gone. They've been chased out like dogs. What they deserve. Oh.
Yeah, the regime. We're talking about the regime. YouTube, we're talking about the regime.
I just said regime.
No, I know. I just want to make sure that if we ever get flagged, if I say that, then when we appeal it, it's easier because we just.
I know. Yeah, good. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this is very brave to be. This is literally saying to the Taliban that, hey, you know what? I don't believe in Islam because you're gonna kill me anyway. So what's the point?
Haris, I want to mention something to you. If Iran becomes a secular democracy,
I'm going there.
I think. Oh yeah. Okay, let's go together. That's good.
Yeah, I'll go with you. But we gotta get some assurances because then I can launch operations. I can launch my secular movement in Pakistan from neighboring Iran.
No, I think if Iran becomes a secular democracy, I think it will have a significant impact on its neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think the Middle East could experience a secular wave. I have two data points to make that point. Okay. When Turkey went secular, it caused a wave of secularism, not the kind of secularism that we like, but it influenced Iran.
Liberalism.
Like the reason, I mean, dictatorial secularism, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's still secularism. Like Ataturk created Reza Shah's secularism. So you can see how much Turkey impacted Iran, right? And also when Iran went Islamic Republic, ever since 1979, we have had a wave of radical Islamism around the Middle East, in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, in Afghanistan, ever since 1979, because of what the Islamization of the government in Iran, right? So you could see when Turkey became secular, it had an influence on its neighbors. Oh, when we had Pan-Arabism coming from Egypt, right?
Yeah.
From, that we had Pan-Arabism just spreading across the Arab world. So based on the history of ideas spreading like that and influencing its neighbors in the Middle East and around the Middle East, I think in a secular democratic Iran, if it becomes successful, it could start a wave of secularism all over the Middle East.
I hope so, but I'm just going to spoil it for you. So, obviously I'm giving my view more Pakistan centric. There are a couple of points where I think Pakistan doesn't look towards Iran. It probably is more likely to look towards Afghanistan or even Saudi Arabia for that matter. First of all, obviously because Sunni Shia divide. So a lot of Pakistanis don't care about the Islamic Republic of Iran. They don't even glorify Islamic regime of Republic of Iran because they say, well, this is a Shia regime. So even though we have a 20% Shia population, so they do look towards that. So maybe those 20% of Shias becoming, no, but I doubt it. But hear me out. And then the second point, up until the 50s and 60s, so pre-partition this region, Indian subcontinent, people were very impressed by the Farsi language. So all of our great poets were educated in. They knew quite a lot about Farsi language. So a lot of these poets actually read or write Farsi, their poems, some of their poems in Farsi. So, but I see that since post 70s, 80s, they've totally lost interest in what happens in Iran. So, I do agree with the overall sentiment that it would give voice to Pakistani liberals like us. That hey, look, they're moving forward, and again, we'll have this data point that all of a sudden, Iran is going to open up. Iran is going to have this economic renaissance, and people are going to come towards Iran. And there's going to be foreign investment, and very quickly, Iran is going to, is going to go in the upward trajectory. So that would arm Pakistani liberals that we need to be more liberal. Our economies and our values need to be more liberalized. But that could take a bit longer. But I think you're probably right. But it won't happen as quickly as you might like.
Can I make a counterpoint? Okay, so in around 1979, Pakistan wasn't also that concerned about much what's happening in Iran, right? And also there wasn't very much an exchange of ideologies between Pakistan and Iran. Yet 1979 Islamic Republic revolution had a significant effect on Pakistan based on almost every analysis that I read, had a huge impact on the Islamization of Pakistan indirectly, not across the border, but through Saudi Arabia. Like the Islamization of the government of Iran had a major impact of what happened in Saudi Arabia, and then Saudi Arabia had an impact on Pakistan. So even though the impact might not be direct, it will have indirect.
But we spoke about this. But we spoke about this. There's another thing happened, which was the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, and jihad was, glorified at that time. And these things are happening in conjunction with each other. I get that, but
yes.
So Saudi Arabia, which is our next story, we'll talk about that too. Saudi Arabia again is trying to liberalize itself, again, dictatorial liberalization, forced liberalization, which you hope that eventually they would stop funding Pakistani madrasas. But some people might think that, the damage is already done. It might take a couple of generations for us to recover.
Yeah, but the Soviet bombing of one of the main cities in Afghanistan, which city was it, I think?
Kandahar?
No, I think it was Herat.
Herat? Okay,
I don't know. Yeah. Yes, it was. It was Herat in Afghanistan. That also had a direct relationship with what happened in Iran as well, which I will bring more details later, right?
Right.
And also the Islamization of Afghanistan and the madrasas also there was something that Saudi Arabia had a huge impact on what happened in Afghanistan as well, which is led to the creation of the Taliban and the growing of madrasas and
obviously all of these things were happening. And anyway, so let's just agree on this thing. Iran becoming a secular republic cannot be a bad news for any of the neighboring countries. It's definitely a good news for everyone around from our point of view, obviously. So I reckon the influence might be a bit slower than you might think.
Slower. No. You're right. You're right. It wouldn't be overnight, but yes.
But also not by slower. I meant that it wouldn't be very significant. There would be too many other cogs in the machinery that would be impacting the outcome. That's what I mean. Like maybe if Pakistan becomes secular or more liberal in 50 years' time, then we would look back as one of the 10 reasons or one of the 8 reasons of why Pakistan became secular, because there will be few more things that we would need to do to make Pakistan a secular country. Okay, I think we should move on from this video clip.
All right, we have an interesting question. Phantom Thief is asking, hi guys, what are your thoughts on gender abolitionism? I think this will solve a lot of issues that are causing this Uncle Red Pill wave. Really? Okay. I believe in gender abolitionism. I just don't think that it will happen organically. I don't think it needs to be pushed for. I think a gender abolitionism, I believe in it as something that eventually will happen or itself, and I believe it would be a good thing. I don't think it's something that you need to do activism for it, but I do agree that it's a good thing.
I haven't thought about it as much, but this is that kind of a double-edged sword where we talk about, hey, if we do something, then it might have the Dunning-Kruger effect. We try to hide something, it's going to have, it's going to become more visible. If we suppress free speech of absolute idiots, then they're going to go underground, and then they're going to become more popular, and cancel culture is bad. So if we push for gender, and I agree with you, I think this is probably where you're coming from. If we actually push for it and be activists for, or have activism on gender abolitionism, then I reckon that's gonna motivate these red pill crowd even more. That I reckon that would unite them even more. But I think eventually, you're right. I think it probably doesn't matter. We still have this hard work ahead of us to convince these people or educate these people the difference between gender and sex, basically.
Yes.
We can't even tell these people that. I spend a lot of time on Twitter Spaces, which is a bit of a waste of time. But when Nuria gets in there, yesterday I spent 8 hours or something. But then, we got a lot of Christian conservatives, some Christian conservatives who support abortion, Christian conservative who didn't support abortion, but by the end of it, he started supporting abortion. But the woman who was against abortion, woman who was in favor of abortion, was so hard on this gender abolitionism, or even giving a light of day to transgender people, etc. So I reckon this triggers conservatives for some reason more than any other issue. It appears. I don't know. Maybe
that's a good thing.
It triggers them more than a war in
Makes
Ukraine.
Me like it more. Yes.
I had to go at Majid Nawaz because I thought I've had enough. And I called him out on this weird freaking, after COVID, he's moved on to this weird worldview of, this guy was a clown, he was a comedian, he's stealing US taxpayers' money, and I'm like, what the fuck is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to do?
Wait,
guys, don't give me any money. We'll talk about it some other time.
No, let's go back to this. Let's go back to the question though. I think.
Oh no, I'm so hot.
When we are, as the world becomes more modern and our cultures are becoming a lot more rich, right? I think your biology becomes a less and less part of your identity, just like ethnicity is becoming insignificant when it comes to your identity. I think your sex is also going to be eventually insignificant when it comes to your identity. Again, I'm not, your sexual biology, that's all still going to be there, but how you see yourself, how you identify, is going to be more associated with, I don't know, the culture that you pick, the views you have, the opinions you have, the shows that you watch. Your sexuality is not going to be the main thing people think about. Like, even now we're getting close to that. You know what I mean? Like, 50 years ago, if you're having a serious discussion and if there's a woman having an opinion in the middle of it, you constantly notice that there's a woman with serious political opinions in this crowd. They're like, okay, these are other people speaking, and also there's a woman. You know what I mean?
It actually reminds me of an event that was written by Bernard Lewis in his book, that when Ottoman, they called them effendis. Effendis mean, it's just an anecdotal story. I think people might enjoy it. Effendi, he went to, which was ambassadors when they went to these foreign countries like France, Germany, or Spain, or whatever. So this Effendi writes in his notebooks that we went to Spain, and that country, he was so degenerate that Spanish men let their women sit next to them on a table and have dinners. Like, he was explaining that as like, whoa, what the hell?
Yes,
yeah, that explains what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. But okay, but even when in modern societies where women are allowed to have opinions and come and join the discussion, it's just noticeable. It was noticeable. Now we're in a world where, and also when that became better, like when people are talking, the fact that you're a man or you're a woman doesn't cross your mind unless the topic is about sex or sexuality itself. It doesn't come across your mind that you're talking to a man or a woman anymore, because it's not
like
that
if a female physicist says something, then you're not, the first thing is not going to pop in your head, hey, you're a woman, shut up, right? That's what you're saying. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant when it comes to it. Yeah.
And this is only a recent thing phenomenon now, because we used to have jokes about puzzles about that relied on the fact that you didn't notice that the doctor could be a woman. Like, that was part of the puzzle. I don't know if you guys remember, and also now that's happening with
man is a doctor, woman is always a nurse.
Yes. But now for example, a male nurse, for example, is not shocking to us anymore, right? But the same thing is happening with ethnicity, right? Like, we don't really think about people's ethnicities when we talk to them. Like, it used to be like, I don't know, in the United States, if somebody was from the Middle East, that was when you were talking to them, that's constantly active part of your brain, that this guy is different, right? Now it's like just normalized. And I think these innate characteristics, because they're becoming less significant, and it's less noticeable, it also becomes less of an identity. Like, people are not going to be interested in the fact that you are
a woman or a man,
black or a man or a woman. People are interested in what's your views. Maybe you're Republican or a Democrat, or you are a vegetarian, or you hate vegetarianism, or you're a feminist, or you hate feminism, or you're liberal. Like, these are things that you choose, and those are the labels or the characteristics that you signal out there as, this is who I am, this is my identity. The fact that I'm man or a woman is not going to be the main signals that you put out there.
So basically, you're saying the more we advance, the less incumbent you would be on factors such as your skin color, your sexuality, and even gender. And that's actually a very good point. I never thought about it that way, because we're not interested if Neil deGrasse Tyson is black or white. He's a scientist. He's a brilliant scientist. He makes me think about things, or makes me look into things that I've never looked at before. And whether there's a female, there's a woman or a male, I don't care. So why do we care about certain aspects, whether that's a transgender or a male or a woman. Only conservatives do that because everything in conservatism, like they hold on to these old pathetic values. That's why they always say, "Oh, you're a woman. That's why you're saying that." So yeah, I think that's a very good point, Armin. Thank you. Thank you for I learned something. I agree. I agree. I never thought against it, but anyway.
Okay.
Before we go into that one, how about
that? Let's go. Give us something.
Should I give you something?
Yes.
Sexy.
You should. Are you coming on to me, Harris?
I'm coming on to you. I am coming on to you. Now, I have no idea why this thing hasn't been brought up to the international media, but Indians and some Pakistanis like myself are having a time of our lives.
Okay.
Imran Khan, once admired and loved and glorified guy, has had his audio sex calls leaked. And that is bad. Now, people have heard that. I would include the link in the description, but before that, I would actually put subtitles on it and I would put it on Twitter. So all of you guys can listen to it. It's long work. Because all these calls add up to be like somewhere around 5 minutes or something. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing on so many fronts. First of all, it's outright wrong. A lot of the only defense that has come from the other side is, well, this is his private life, so get away with this. But it's not his private life, first of all. If he was a liberal who did not shit on liberal values and liberal people like us, I would have said, okay, it's your private life. But even then, he could not get away with it because he was having these sexually charged conversations like, I will fuck you from behind. Oh boy, I think I just screamed thinking of you. I just ejaculated thinking of you. What else? He said that I know your pleasure points. Have you spread your legs? All of that. Explicit sexual talk.
Wow.
All of that recorded by Pakistan's ISI, and it's just been leaked now because obviously ISI, Pakistan military establishment, does not want him back to power. Well, what's interesting about all of this is that a lot more tapes are going to come out because this tape goes as far back as 2013 when he was not married. So this is one thing. This is what Imran Khan supporters are saying. Well, at least he didn't cheat. Now, screw you. And I'll tell you, I'll list all the reasons why this is so wrong and so bad. First of all, it makes him a hypocrite. He tells the world that I want to create a state of Medina. He says he glorifies Islamic values, albeit he does say that, well, his supporters say his Islamic values are not Salafi values. His Islamic values are no bullshit. No bullshit. His Islamic values, we all know when people think of Islam or Islamic State, they think of corporal punishments, lashing people, stoning adulterers, amputating thieves. That's what the people in general take it as. Okay, and this is a dangerous road. Sorry, no, this was just so I'm coming to that, who this woman was. So this woman was one of a party members.
What?
Yeah. So she later on got 7 million rupees, which turns out to be, back in those days, nearly $300,000, or at least $200,000. No, Ayan, I'll put it up separately. Maybe when I put the excerpt out of it, I might put it in with subtitles then.
Is it too juicy? It's too juicy for YouTube to play it?
I think YouTube has a policy against leaked calls or something. I once did get a warning. So
okay, never mind.
So I think I wouldn't play it. But you could play some snippets, but I'm not going to risk it. So let me tell you why it's wrong. So first of all, top of the list, it's hypocrisy. He shits on liberal values, but now he's trying to hide behind a liberal value that this is my private life. By the way, him and his cronies, none of them have come out in defense of it. So what they're hoping that this is going to go, this is all going to blow away. But I have bad news, and he knows it more than I do. There is a treasure trove of these audio sexting sex calls coming, all the way from 2013 up until 2017 or whatnot. Okay, it's coming. Apparently, there's a gay video of him. Apparently, one of his ex-wives, Raham Khan, his second wife, who came in after this supposed phone call, she accused him of gay sex in her biography. So anyway, so obviously there's nothing wrong, but again, this is bad for him because he says, I'm a Muslim, I'm Islamic values. So this is just hypocrisy. These guys become liberal when it suits them, but these guys become staunch radical Muslims when they want to win votes. So that's wrong. But secondly, as I said, he gave her from party funding. He transferred 7 million rupees to her. That's 7 million discretionary funds for you. Spend it however you will. And that's no longer a personal matter because this is misallocation of funds for someone who is giving you sexual favors. So is this just a transaction? And people who have donated to your party, I think they deserve an answer, but they are blind, mindless followers of Imran Khan, so who knows? He's just trying to stay quiet. Thirdly, back in those very same days, this is around 2013, just after the elections, when he lost those elections, one other party member, Aisha Gulalai, also accused him of sending dick pics to her. And nobody believed her, including me. And I'm embarrassed of that. And this is why I made a tweet. I apologized to her. Not that she probably saw that or not.
Believe all women. You should have believed.
Yeah, I know. I in my Urdu video, I said that. No, it's true. No, I actually do. I think in that case, and it reinforced my view. There it is. This is what I say. I think everyone who trolled Aisha Gulalai, this lady, her career is wrecked, basically, because she never recovered from it. She told everyone that he sent me inappropriate messages, but nobody believed her. Everyone, Imran Khan's mindless followers, shamed her, and she just quit politics.
This is very nice, Aris. Like, look at you. You're accepting responsibility.
Well, of course, why not? But this is against my values anyway. But again, this is back in 2013, 14. I was a different guy.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for this.
I'm proud of that. And this is his ex. Oh, this is one of the tapes. This is the lady, by the way.
Don't play it. Don't play it.
I'm not playing it.
Who was she recording it?
No. So this is what I said. Apparently ISI recorded it.
Oh my God.
So and again, they're gonna keep doing this until he's run to the ground, basically, because he.
So is this gonna end him?
This is it. This is his ex-wife, Raham Khan. This is his second wife. She also wrote her in her biography. She said that he is sexually very promiscuous. He's a cocaine addict. He's also engages in gay sex with some of the party members, but nobody believed her. So again, I apologize to her as well. I want to say to Raham Khan, I'm sorry for not believing you sooner. So all of those things happened around 2013 and 14. What we're waiting. So that's misallocation of funds. So it's no longer a private matter. He's a hypocrite. And thirdly, there's an element of exploitation as well. For example, Aisha Gulalai, the one I just apologized to, she rejected his sexual advances, and as a result, she lost everything. Basically, she was a young woman. She quit politics altogether. This woman, not only he gave her 700,000 rupees to a discretionary fund from party funding, but also in Pakistan, there's a thing called reserved seats for minorities, for women, because they want to put the balance of men and women. They want to reduce the difference, basically, because women may not be able to win in general elections. So they give you proportionate to your party size. They give you reserved seats for women. So he gave that, which is purely a party's up to party's discretion. And he gave that. Guess who he gave this seat to, reserved seat to? Guess who he gave that women's reserved seat to?
Who?
The same woman he was involved in the sexual.
Okay, this is bad. This is really bad.
This is bad, but this is the country we freaking live in. These fucking hypocrites love to tell you. I'm sorry, I'm so angry, but they are effing hypocrites. They tell the West that, oh, you're degenerate and what a blah blah blah, you fucking do this and that and blah blah blah. But here, Imran Khan, being the leader of the biggest party in Pakistan, has not uttered a single word, and his fans are saying nothing. Their first initial reaction is fake. It's not fake. It's not fake. You know what they said? They played one of his crony so-called journalist, Imran Khan, whose name is also Imran Khan, one of the largest YouTube channels he runs. He says he played a Morgan Freeman AI deep fake, whatever that video is. He said, look,
no.
yeah, he said that, look, it's so easy to do it these days. And he played Morgan Freeman video. Yes, Morgan Freeman, Tom Cruise, these are global celebrities and people have worked and they've dedicated their artificial intelligence to that. There is no freaking software that makes you replicate Imran Khan's voice.
Actually, you can, but you can't. It's easy to have AI replicate Imran Khan's voice. However, it's easy. You can, professionals like can detect the AI voice. Like if it's actual, like Photoshop, right? Like an image that you're saying could be Photoshopped, but somebody with a trained eye or a software can easily detect if a photo is Photoshopped or not. So an audio that is not the person's actual voice and has been generated through AI, it's easy for you to use certain software to detect whether it's AI or it's not AI. So,
I have heard AI once. I have heard Morgan Freeman. I've heard Tom Cruise. I've heard all of these ones. It's easier to make those deep fake videos than it is to make those audios, because the way it is being communicated, all these AI voices that you look at, they're very monologues. They're very monotonic monologues. They're not conversations. I haven't seen many. Secondly, the way it is interaction, these guys would be really good actors, whoever's done it, if it was fake. My bet is I'd put my money on this is not fake, this is real. And judging by Imran Khan and his supporters' I'm not talking about minions, like ordinary people. I'm talking about his party's reaction. They're waiting for it to blow away. And this is the only line of defense they're going by saying, just don't respond to this. It's not going to
go away, though. It's not going to go away.
It's well, it does go away in Pakistan. People have gotten away with a lot worse.
Can they just legally challenge him now? Because
So there's no confession of actual sex. It's just phone sex where he's just
favoriting them when it comes to money and stuff like that.
I don't know. These laws are terrible.
Was he doing this when he was married? Like, was this doing?
No, he wasn't. No, so he wasn't. So in 2013, he wasn't married. He got married.
All right, so guys, like, just to be clear, just like Harris said, we do not. If this guy was like not a hypocrite, and if he wasn't shaming other,
had no problem.
Yeah, if he wasn't shaming other people for degeneracy. And this audio came out, we were like, woohoo, like we will there's nothing wrong with what he did. But like we would go, like we say, like go on, good job, Imran Khan, like you're a badass, like go get that. I don't want to say that on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But yeah, we would be celebrating this. We're like, yeah, my man, like go have fun. But because these people shame others, liberals, for degeneracy, then that's why we're going after him for that. But there's there's nothing wrong with what he did.
In one of the videos, he actually says, it's funny. He says, "Bring your sister as well."
What the hell?
And she says, "Oh, her boyfriend would not appreciate that." He goes, "Why do you have to tell her boyfriend?" And then he says,
we don't approve that.
And then he says, "Why? They can do whatever they want. They're adults. I don't care." But then he
no, cheating. No. Morally, cheating on your boyfriend.
Oh, right. Okay, you're talking about from her point of view. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, of course. Yeah. But he says, that he talks about his fantasy, and she makes a joke. She makes a joke about it. She goes like, "What kind of weird fantasy?" And he says, "I want to watch." And then he says, "What kind of fantasy do you have? You have a very white man's fantasy." And he just chuckles at it. So he shames people like me that we are so freaking, Anglified, and, like we have forgotten our roots and our true identity and blah, blah, blah. So he pretends to be a true alpha Pakistani male, but he has Western kinks. Like, and he wants to watch it.
He wants to watch two sisters? go at each other?
Yeah.
So his fantasy is sister on sister incest?
That's pretty bad. Some people have said that he's not talking about Sumera Malik, who is his sister. So he doesn't actually, so the name is actually not included in that, but everyone's saying that this is his sister. So either it's the two sisters or two friends. So it's one of the two. But majority of people are saying she's talking about Sumera Malik, who is Ayman Malik's sister.
Amazing. They're like, go get your sister. I want your sister.
And who has a boyfriend?
Who has a boyfriend. And she's like laughing about it. Like, yeah, like, okay, I will have sex with my sister in front of you for your entertainment.
Girl action.
Jesus.
I actually didn't see it from that point of view that, yeah, okay, it's just bad. I was just focusing on the part that he just wants to watch. But now, like, you want to watch two sisters, though. That's like Austin Powers. Remember that scene in Austin Powers? He has a checklist. He goes like, have threesome with two Japanese sisters. And then he takes it.
Amazing.
Hang on, what else does he say? Do you want to know more details? Hang on, what else did he say?
Yes.
He says,
I'm not wondering.
He says, do you want me to enter you slowly or just suddenly? She goes, no, gently. and he acts so innocent. He's like, he asks a question slowly or just instantly, like or just straight in, and then he says, but after that I'm gonna go for your mouth. Sorry guys, I could not get enough of it because I'm like, whoa. I genuinely believe, like, I mean, I obviously hated his policies for the last couple of years. I did not like the guy at all, but I thought he was a bit more classier than that. But I guess anyone can, like, I was talking to someone and I said, oh, imagine, you know, like it's a terrible breach of privacy. Like, he must feel violated. But again, it's just, I'm sorry, Imran Khan, if you weren't such a freaking hypocrite, if you hadn't been giving the Islamic touch, the state of Medina, you hadn't been shitting on liberals, you hadn't said, so when he said, now you remember that quote that he said that, oh, if women wear these revealing clothes, then men are not robots. He was talking about himself. He's not a robot. So if he sees a sexy woman walking down the road...
No, that's not the fair... Okay, because that was an insult to men, because when he says men are not robots, he's talking about potentially... Himself? No, because what he did was consensual. When he says, like, women should wear the hijab because men are not robots, he's making us seem like men are rapists and they cannot, like, they will attack women.
But there's another degree about
consent.
that. Yeah, but there's another degree about that too. Like, that would lead you, or that would encourage you to have a girlfriend, and then you would have a consensual girlfriend. That could be interpreted as that as well. But I know in that case he did mean, he did say that specifically in response to rapists. So I'm saying that quote can still apply on him, because that quote can still apply on him. Not that he's raping, but he because he sees women, liberal culture, so he's like, oh, I want to have a girlfriend too. I'm single and I'm bored. Hey baby, do you want to come?
Yeah, but that's fine. Like, you could have as much as that as you want, and it's just like that topic was about non-consensual relationship, which is like
yeah.
All right, we need to talk about this. Dee also asked this one. Dee was asking, do you think the far-right rhetoric is responsible for anti-immigrant violence? The shooter in France described himself as a racist who hates foreigners. That's actually, thank you so much for bringing this up.
Which one is this? When did that happen? I want to know
that
this.
Just happened. Like,
yesterday,
24 hours ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I heard something about it. Was that PKK? Wasn't that PKK violence?
No, that was in Turkey.
No.
Oh, no. Let me actually.
No. In Paris. Yeah. So I read TRT.
No, let's read it.
Okay.
Paris shooting, protests after deadly attack on courts. It's on courts, not like it's attack on courts, not by the courts. Paris has witnessed a second day of violent unrest after Friday deadly attack on the city's Kurdish community. Protesters who gathered on Saturday overturned cars, setting some on fire, and hurled objects at police. Officers responded by firing tear gas. 3 people were killed in Friday's attack, which took place at a Kurdish cultural center at a restaurant. The suspect, who has reportedly described himself as a racist, has been transferred to a psychiatric facility. The 69-year-old was released from custody for health reasons following an examination on Saturday. Prosecutors said he is yet to appear before a judge. In the wake of the shooting, the suspect said he hated foreigners. Yeah, this guy is like a
Racist,
native. Yeah, a police source earlier told the AFP news agency. The same source said that the gunman launched his attack with a much-used pistol. Okay, so I don't want to know much more about the details because it keeps going. But yeah, it just seems like a racist.
But why are these cars upside down and burning? And who's doing that if there was just one shooting?
Oh, yeah, 3 places came under fire. Okay. Okay. So witnesses said the attacker, tall, white, and elderly. See, they're being so careful now. Okay, I like how because they don't want to be accused of being anti-white racist, right? So they put the white in the middle of other features to be like, we're just describing everything innate about the guy, not just the fact that he's white. Okay, tall, white, and elderly. Because like, who cares about the fact that they're tall? They're like, we can't just say he's white.
Yeah.
Let's just also say he was. Let's just also say he was tall. Shot dead 2 men and a woman in the city's 10th district. Yeah, so 2 people. 3 others were injured, one of whom remains in a critical condition. 3 places came under fire. Okay, who's toppling the cars? The suspect is retired. Okay, he has a history of weapons. Okay, that's about the suspect. Last year, unrest. Unrest began soon after Friday's shootings. Footage showed people starting fires in the streets and smashing car windows. Police used tear gas as the protesters attempted to break through a security cordon. Saturday's renewed violence unfolded after hundreds of Kurds gathered peacefully in the place
La Republic. I can't do it. La Republique.
To pay tribute to the 3 victims. It was not clear what sparked the clashes. Police said 31 officers and 1 protester had been injured, and 11 arrests were made. In the aftermath of the shooting, Kurds have called for better protections from the French authorities. Committee leaders met the Parisian police chief on Saturday. Friday's attack came almost 10 years after. Okay, so
I get it. So now you want to know why I say it matters who's reporting this. So take this off and let me show you how TRT, which is such a horrible freaking news media that should never be trusted. Look how they are. Look how they're painting this one.
Sure.
Supporters of PKK terror group turned Paris into battlefield.
Oh my God. TRT, guys, is a Turkish propaganda outlet. The hell, this is
because they hate the Kurds and they put everything. Now, I just want to talk about one thing before I go into this. Like, you know, when I was talking about how they accused when Moroccans were rioting in Paris, instead of saying that, oh, Moroccans were rioting, they said Parisians were being racist, or the authorities of Paris were being racist towards Moroccans because they were celebrating or they were mourning their loss. You see how bad this whole Muslim propaganda is, and this is Turkey. Turkey's doing that. So let's have a look. Let's read through this. So what oh no, hang on. Is that you? Oh no, that's you.
No, you removed it.
Oh, sorry. Here. So supporters of PKK terror group turned Paris into battlefield, injure officer. The violent demonstrations came one day after a 69-year-old gunman with suspected racist motivation opened fire in Paris, killing at least 3 people and injuring 3 others. Supporters of the PKK. There you go. These people that BBC just said that obviously Kurdish people who obviously would have been angry and upset, and there's no way that they were PKK terror group, who used Friday's gun attack in the French capital as a pretext, have turned Paris into a battlefield and injured 31 police. So it's the same car. It looks like it's just one car, and obviously this little cordon area that bore the brunt of these demonstrations or riots. And when the Moroccans were doing that, they did not call it out. They said that was, Paris was being racist. So having gathered at the central place de la République at around 2 p.m. local time on Saturday, thousands of supporters of the terror group. How did they know there were thousands of supporters of the terror group? How did they know?
Yeah, what does this got to do with the PKK? This is about the Kurdish people. I mean, I don't endorse them toppling cars and stuff, but this was about the Kurdish people demanding more protection.
Yes, and that's it. They just call that.
Oh, wait. There's that evidence. Hey, that's the evidence. Maybe there's go. Wait. It says the protesters... No, the second thing. The protesters were chanting pro-PKK slogans and carrying posters of the terror group's so-called leaders. They then ripped off the pavings. Okay, so apparently that's their evidence. Do we have any confirmation of that? By the way, yes, I've seen this tactic used. When you have a large gathering of protesters, there will be one person or a couple of them that will say something...
but how generous, how considerate of Turkey to just hold on to anything and just quickly label that as PKK terror group because they hate PKK. Yeah. But I'm just talking about hypocrisy.
I mean, PKK is a terror.
Yeah, it is a terrorist organization. I get it, but I'm saying because it suits them to call them terror groups.
Yes, it's generalization. This is a generalization of all protesters because some people there were holding signs that was pro.
I'm just talking about the hypocrisy that they would not apply. They would not call the Moroccan rioters as rioters. Like even let's just say the Moroccans had one protester had held some flag or a banner of some African terrorist organization or something, but I would not call them they belong to that. I would just call them that this is Moroccan football hooliganism, right? And this is not an appropriate behavior. That's what I would say. So even with this one, I would say, sorry, Kurds, this is not a way to protest by toppling cars and all that. But
most Kurds were peaceful. Like you can see that. Yes.
I get that. Again, I get that. The same goes for Moroccans as well. But my point is that this is in our last conversation a couple of weeks ago. My point was it matters who gives you your news, and that is not Al Jazeera or TRT. These news outlets are propaganda outlets. If you want to get your news from, I don't even like CNN because that's just divided in left and right so much. Get it from BBC, get it from DW, and if you like, get it from France 23. These 3, in my opinion, are the best news outlets at the moment.
I do like to see so Al Jazeera and TRT and some other media, they have a bias on certain areas, but they do the coverage in those even for example, Al Jazeera has good coverage on things that they're not biased about.
Yeah.
So I think you could consume all of these news as long as you are aware of what the bias is.
These people fall for it, man. It's my responsibility to tell people that if you want to read it, I'm telling you, I don't know this. There might be if these people say, oh well, why should I believe BBC? It's a British propaganda website. But I'm telling you, BBC, DW, whatever you want to call them, but they are good enough to at least give you the impression that they're not being biased because they will show the other side. Why did BBC, that article that Armin showed of the same incident, what interest does BBC have or not have not to label these people PKK?
But the reason why I want to consume TRT as well is because it's for me interesting to see the bias of TRT. I'm not just getting the news, but I'm also getting the information about TRT's bias. You know what I mean?
No, I do that too. Look, I saw that. This is why I brought it up. But I'm just giving my opinion to those people who hold value in my opinion that that,
Right.
yeah, sure, read it. But at this point, the most credible news agencies are obviously Reuters, BBC, DW, and France 23. If you don't like France for
these
whatever
are,
reason, yeah.
you are correct. Like, you are correct with, that's a pretty good list. I do agree with that. That's a pretty good objective list. Like, when it comes to news, it's hard to do better than these sources that Harris mentioned.
Do you want to?
Okay, this. Well,
okay. No, go on.
What do you think about dating in the workplace? Is it too risky in the post-Me Too era?
We've spoken about this. No, it's not too risky, man. It's not risky. I don't know. Like, I haven't had this problem. I've been single for 1.5 years, and yeah. No.
I think this person is asking for a friend, because I think they want to see.
Okay, let me tell you about my friend's experiences. So a friend of mine has been dating a lot, and as dates go, sometimes they go wrong, sometimes they go right. But as long as you know what you're doing and there's no coercion, I think when you're coercing someone into something or you're not. There is no fear of being accused of anything that you haven't done. You know why that is, and I'll tell you give a simple analogy. You're not going to be accused of rape or sexual assault if you are innocent. You know how, and you know why? Because you're going to have a whole list of messages that you would have sent them. Those messages would indicate how the other person is feeling about you. Those messages would indicate after the date as well how the other person is feeling. No one is going to go to a date and going to say, hey, you know what? Here's this man. There's a multi-million-dollar guy, and that was my whole plan to lure him to a date and then accuse him of sexual assault. No one's going to do that, okay? So things go wrong much later if things go wrong. So you're going to have a date. Let's just say you had, things got hot and heavy, and for some reason you don't want to see her again. So that's going to lead to a conversation, and you're going to have a trail of messages like, oh, yeah, why don't you want to see me again? Oh, sorry. Yeah, look, I know, you know what, things were great, but I'm not really sure, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking from a friend's experience, okay? So don't worry that she's going to go, oh, he turned me down, he rejected me or whatever. So he's going to say, or she's going to say, okay, I'm going to accuse you of rape. Me too. Nothing. It's not going to happen. So if you're good, if you haven't coerced anyone into anything, if you haven't used, if you haven't done anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about. In some cosmological odd 1 in a million, something may go wrong, but that's going to be 1 in a million, if not 1 in a billion. So don't worry about that. Don't put these thoughts in your head that, oh, someone. Get a date first, guys. Get a date first and deal with the rest later.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. Like, when all the messages that you have going between each other, as long as you're not being, a creep, as long as you just keep confirming. Like, but first of all, Harris is right that the odds of that happening is very low. But if you are worried about that, just confirm that you guys had a good time, and just get her, like, before you go on a date, just have a normal conversation about being excited about it, and get her to say something about it. And then when you go on a date, but
that happens, Armin, doesn't it? That's what happens. Like, when your hormones are flowing, so everything, love is in the air, you're excited. And I noticed
that the few men that get wrongly accused, if you go look at what happened, is that they don't talk. There was not that level of communication happening. Like, even if it's not, the man didn't do anything wrong, he didn't have much to show that he didn't do anything wrong. So if you increase the level of communication on whatever social media app that you're using, then you have a whole bunch of, like, look at our history, look at what led up to our date,
and look what happened after the date.
After the date, look at the communication that if she had a problem, look at how nice she was with me and how cordial she was with me after. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Look,
she was begging to see me again.
No, don't exaggerate. Like, I'm just saying, like, even ask her, like, oh, I had a great time. I look forward to seeing you again. Did you have a good time? Like, I get her to say, like, yeah, it was great. So when she said that, obviously I didn't do anything. She said she had a great time, right? But I think, like, it's not, but I don't think you need to worry about being wrongfully accused.
Yeah.
But increase your communication, not just for not being wrongfully accused, but also because it's a good idea. It actually enhances your dating experience.
Women feel more comfortable. The more you talk, women feel more comfortable. And I don't know, like any other day, my friend had, he all the girls wanted to see him again. Like, like all ended. If it ended, obviously, when one party pulls the plug, the other party is not likely to like it. That's usually what happens. But they can take it and they can accept it. And this is how people should behave. Like, okay, well, that person doesn't want to see me again. That's fine. Okay, good luck. I'll have a nice life. I'll never see you again. But again, it depends how you do it, how polite you are, and you got to be, you got to be cordial as well. You sometimes not responding or stopping to respond, that also says something, about you. Like, okay, fine, the date was great, but sometimes guys don't want to do it. This is actually very common. Again, my friend told me this. This is very common. Guys don't want to confront. Guys don't want to tell a woman, sorry, honey, I met you, I had good fun, but I never want to see you ever again. I never want to see you again. But we don't say that, man. My friend.
No, because it's not nice. It's not nice to say.
Yeah, it's not nice, but that's how it is. No, but that's how it is. Yeah. People don't.
No, but you can say the truth. No, you can say the truth in a way that it's not hurtful.
Of course. You can, but you cannot.
You're right. It still will be hurtful, but it would be less hurtful if you make an attempt not to hurt.
Yeah. I'm not saying just don't respond at all, but like sometimes you give messages. Like, for example, it's like, yay. When am I going to sing again? Yeah, okay, yeah. Look, that's great, and that's you just start giving subliminal messages to let it go. I'm not saying this is the best approach, but I'm saying a lot of men want to go that way. Men don't want to confront that. Men don't want to say that.
That's weak. That's weak. It's also you have to.
My friend is a bit weak like that. He doesn't want to break hearts.
Well, that makes it worse for the person. If you are not breaking,
I think now majority of people get it. Majority of women get it. Like, wouldn't you know? Hang on. Yeah. Would you not know that this woman is not into you?
Let me
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Would you not know? Would you not know if?
Let me finish your point. Let me finish my sentence. Okay, I understand that if you, let's say, I'm breaking up with somebody, okay, and I don't tell them that this is over, okay, and they get it. Based on my behavior, based on me not responding, based on just like going on with my life, they will get it that it's over, okay? But that is a very, very horrible experience for that person. You might think like if you just tell them that would be a worse experience, but it's a bigger pain short term. Right? Like short term, they will be hurt more. Like listening to you, telling them that this is over is going to be heartbreaking, okay? But it will be shorter. That if you just try to let them know by ignoring them, by not responding them, that might be less pain in a short amount of time, but overall, it's a longer period of pain.
My friend has got some horror stories. So the more you tell them, the more it goes into back and forth, unnecessary conversation. The more explicit you become. Look, I'm not interested in you. You end up blocking them, and it doesn't. Women are different.
I think you owe them a conversation. If you're breaking up with somebody, you owe them a conversation.
Yeah, but some women are more mature, where they go, okay, like he's not into me.
You need to. I mean, I think you could only control who you are. You can't control who she is. Like if she wants to overreact based on what you're telling him, that's her problem. I know what I did was the correct way of doing this. I'm gonna have the conversation about what's happening, okay, and I'm gonna be honest about it, and I'm gonna be gentle about it. Whatever the reaction is, I think that's an easier way. I think that's a better way to do it. Like you shared some time with this person, okay? You have to. I think it's a.
What if it's only a couple of minutes? Anyway, I think we got the point. We get the point. So that's okay. I think we can move on.
Okay. We got a super chat from Troel. Thank you so much for the 50 Danish crowns. Yeah, I think crowns. Coronas, yeah. Coronas, I don't know. I forgot. But Troel is saying thank you. A message from Borat. Merry starting life day to glorious Padshah of Padshah of Atheist Republic of Tel Aviv. Okay, thank you so much, Troel. Thank you so much for that.
I don't get it. Message from Mary starting life day to glorious Padshah of the Atheist Republic of Tel Aviv. I don't get it.
I think you have to read it in the Borat voice, which I cannot do. But basically,
Mary starting life day to glorious Padshah of the Atheist Republic of Tel Aviv.
So Mary starting life day, that means like happy birthday, because starting life day. To the glorious Padshah means the king of Atheist Republic. Yes,
of Tel Aviv.
Of Tel Aviv. I don't know what the Tel Aviv part is, but I think I got the rest. But thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Guys, I posted a link for YouTube members of Secular Jihadists if you want to come up, but you have a very short amount of time because we already went over time. Harris,
we haven't gone over time. We have plenty of time. Do you want to watch something funny?
Okay.
It's a favorite time of the favorite time of the show. It's about your buddy Abu Andrew Tate.
Oh, wow.
He came clean.
Not my buddy. Okay.
So he came clean why he converted to Islam.
Okay, let's see.
You want ready?
Yes, I'm excited.
Sure. Let's have a look. So this is what he says.
Aren't you an atheist at once?
I was at one point,
Yeah.
But now I'm absolutely and utterly, completely religious.
Because you believe in evil, huh?
Because I've seen the evil.
Yeah.
I've seen evil.
What's your religion?
It's kind of like an interesting hybrid. When
do you know where that's going?
Wait, I did not expect that. Hybrid? Whoa, no, I have no idea where this is going.
Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts. This is gonna take an unexpected freaking turn, but Muslims are still frothing over him. So let's have a listen to what he says.
Interesting hybrid. When I'm in Dubai, I'm happy to be Muslim, and when I'm in Romania, I'm happy to be Christian.
The guy's laughing too. He says, when I'm in Dubai, I'm Muslim. When I'm in Romania, I'm Christian.
What the hell? That's kufr. That's kufr. He just became an ex-Muslim.
No, he becomes an ex-Muslim when he goes to Romania, and then becomes a revert when he comes back to Dubai.
Where is he now? Is he in Dubai? Because he's an ex-Muslim. He's one of us now.
Yeah, he's in Dubai. So I'm just waiting for him to go back to Romania so he can become one of us.
Interesting hybrid. When I'm in Dubai, I'm happy to be Muslim, and when I'm in Romania, I'm happy to be Christian. I just respect the idea of God.
No, I get that. I agree.
And when you look at the
this guy's not Muslim.
He's not Muslim.
He's not Muslim. This is like he's not Muslim. Like I just like the idea of God. That's him officially leaving Islam.
Chameleons have religions too. That's it. He's a chameleon.
that's a good. That's a good.
Listen to this. Listen to this. How he ends this. Listen to this. How he ends this with that age-old pathetic Stalin argument.
Heinous crimes and most heinous things are happening on the planet. It's usually done by atheists in the name of atheism, and they have no morality.
In the name of atheism, it's done in the name of atheism, and I've been thinking about it. What's the main disillusionment of these people with atheism or lack of religion's involvement in society's day-to-day activities? Because I was some video came up where Sam Harris was describing Jordan Peterson as well. Like Jordan Peterson is, for all intents and purposes, an atheist, kind of like Abu Andrew Tate is an atheist. Like, well, come on, man. Like, why are you paying lip service to Islam or Christianity when you don't even believe in it firmly? You just like the idea of God or religion's influence in your day-to-day societal life. These guys are so petty that they think some of the biggest problems faced by our world are things like them, they. These guys are so anti-them, they. These guys are so anti-pronouns that they go as far as saying, bring religion back. I can't deal with them, they. This is in a nutshell. Look what Jordan Peterson's problem is. Pronouns.
You're right.
Look what Abu Andrew Tate's problem is. Masculinity. and feminism, women empowerment. For all intents and purposes, he is a freaking atheist and a beneficiary of liberal values. But no, them, they, and women empowerment is so big of a freaking problem that I would rather take Islam with wife beating, 4 wives, sex slavery, Christian values, anti-abortionism. I'll take all of that, but I can't deal with them, they. Yeah. That's it. That's not.
They're so basically they're so transphobic. It makes them see Allah. That's the level of transphobia.
Yes, they're so transphobic. At the base of it is transphobia.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Is anyone else coming? Because I have.
No. We should go.
I might have something else as well. Let me see if I have. Let me see.
Guys, I'm going to remove.
Do you have a show later on today?
No, but I have people downstairs that want me to go downstairs.
Okay. Give me a sec. I think there was something else I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah. So just wrap this up with Andrew Tate. So what he actually does.
Yeah.
This is
completely un-Islamic. Like, this is officially announcing that you're not a Muslim. You cannot. That's not how. Like, I don't takfir people. Okay, like, I'm not in the business of but like, this is out of the fold of Islam. Like, I am very sensitive about the people who say, like, oh, he's sinning, so he's not a Muslim. Oh, he's drinking alcohol.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. You defended him. Yeah. You said, well, he's sinning, but that doesn't mean.
No, sinning doesn't take you out of the fold of Islam. But saying I am Christian over here, Muslim over here, that is outside of the fold of Islam. You have officially left. You cannot do that.
Look at this. Yeah. Look at this tweet. Like, this guy would, if he told his minions, his followers, his idiot, mindless followers that, hey, this is my shit, eat it, and they will eat it. Look at this. He goes, in the last month, I have been offered more than not 4 million, not 40 million, $400 million for endorsement deals. And I have said no to all of it. How very brilliant, generous of you. Because I refuse to peddle trash or sell my soul. If you obey Tate, your life gets better. You do not get sold trash or scams. But says the guy who's selling them fucking get rich quick schemes.
His own product is a scam. His own product is trash.
I want to show something to you, but I reached out to this woman, but she hasn't responded. Let me show you this comment. So I clicked on this video. So in one of our last videos on Andrew Tate.
Wait, let me actually tell people that I'm not making that up, right? Like, when Andrew Tate's product is literally hiring other people. Like, he doesn't teach his course. He gets other people to come give you lectures about things that you could get on YouTube for free. There's nothing within his course. There's no content within his course that is not freely available. And you're going to be paying $50 a month for it. It's absolute trash. It's not even high quality information.
But how do you know that is? But yeah, I don't know. Like, what that?
He's like, stock picking stuff is about like outdated methods of picking stocks. Is like using trend analysis. Everything that every single academic research shows that is a outdated and completely unscientific way of investment. I know. By the way, like, when it comes to trend analysis, like, that's completely been debunked as a method of investment in stocks. Like, I have a degree in this, by the way, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But like, if you look at every single academic research, it shows you that you cannot do trend analysis to figure out what stock to invest in. It doesn't work. And that's one of his courses, right? And he doesn't even teach his courses. His courses has been reviewed by many people on YouTube. If you're considering taking one of his courses, go watch the reviews of his courses, people who have paid just to see what the courses are about, and then make your decision.
I was thinking about signing up for his get rich quick schemes, man.
It's a scam.
Really?
Yeah. It's
$70. So now I'm trying to find one of the.
What? I thought it was 50.
Of course, I'm joking.
50.
What? How much is it? $50 a month.
50 a month. Yeah, I think that was what it was.
That's not much. Anyway, so there was this comment underneath one of our videos on Andrew Tate, where this woman put a mask on. She said, "Please help me. Andrew Tate scammed me." So I clicked on her username and I went through her channel. She just put up one video where she was saying he scammed me. He's taken $20,000 from me. I'm trying to get a hold of him, but I can't get a hold of him. So I just left a message. I said, "Well, send me an email in detail." I gave her my email address. So I never heard from her. So I don't know, like if you're watching this, you can send me an email to harisultanxmuslim@gmail.com. Obviously, I can't just accuse Andrew Tate of doing that if you don't give me any evidence. But if he has done something or whatnot, then you need to send us details. And yeah, we'll have a field day telling the world who Abu Andrew Tate is.
Yes.
Yeah, guys,
Tino,
don't forget to.
Yeah, saying thank you so much for reminding everybody. Please like the stream and share it. It doesn't cost you anything, so do it. Also, for people who are considering getting Andrew Tate's course, the video that one of the videos that I think you would have fun to watch is go look up, search for CoffeeZilla and Tate, and this video by CoffeeZilla, it's just titled "I joined Andrew Tate's cult and it was worse than I thought." Okay, so go watch that video and see what you think.
Right, I want to watch it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there must be so many people exposing him, but where are they? Like, I mean, I've been wondering. But yeah, obviously, I think he's done something really amazing where he's flooded YouTube with YouTube
3 million
shorts.
views. This got 3 million views. So
that's good. That's very good. See, this is
we got it. We got another super chat. Okay, I will read.
Lines always include a totally not subtle reference to Jews, so I threw in off Tel Aviv in my birthday joke to Armin as a reference to him seeking a job with Mossad. Happy birthday!
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's happy birthday to me as well, Turo. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's Harris's birthday as well. So people,
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we are. I'm pretty sure we're done. I know there was one more video, but I think it's probably too small. It's 1 minute video, but it's just a reaction video. A Muslim says, hating kufr is good. Okay, Abu Walid explains how hating kufr and shirk goes hand in hand. Do you want to hear it?
Yes. Here, let's bring it up.
Look at this. Look at this. I mean, these guys make our job so much easier.
Number 6, wherever there is a sign of a human or animal footstep, my Sultan, meaning my authority, it will reach there. Meaning Islam, it will go everywhere. You can see what Rasulullah on his mind was 3 matters which we described as the Asul Deen. Oh. The Asul Deen meaning the foundations of this deen, which is At-Tawheed, Al-Wala wal-Bara, and Isharuddin. And we mentioned these 3 previously when we discussed about Al-Ibadah. We said the deen is based upon 3. As mentioned by Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmahullah. He said, Al-Istislamu lillahi tawheedan, wa inqiyad lillahi ta'atan, wa bara min shirk wa ahle. He said, At-Tawheed, complete ta'ah and obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and complete bara'ah wal bara min shirk wa ahle. To have complete hatred for the kufr and the shirk and from the mushrikeen. Both they go hand in hand. Not separation. What people they do today is they say we hate the shirk, but we love the mushrik. How does that work out? Man, coconut Muslim. This man doesn't know which kind of
coconut Muslim.
That's for the kufr and the shirk and from the mushrikeen. Both they go.
Oh, so you're supposed to hate the sin and the sinner.
The sinner, yes.
Yes.
So they're saying that a lot of these modern progressive lipstick Muslims say, "Oh no, I hate the sin, but I don't hate the sinner," because God have mercy and blah blah blah.
Coconut Muslim.
Yeah. Well, coconut Muslim is like brown on the outside but white on the inside, and they're trying to have these white values, these white man's values, which is like
it's not shit. It's shirk. It's their shirk, the kufr and their shirk, associating partners with God.
Today is they say we hate the shirk but we love the mushrik. How does that work out? This man coconut.
No. It's not even sin and sinner. I mean, it's actually literally he's basically saying you have to hate the mushrik. So everyone is a mushrik in the world who's not Muslim, right?
Yes. I was comparing it. I was comparing it to how some Christians say hate the sin, not the sinner. These people are like hate the kufr and the kafir, hate the shirk and the mushrik. So basically, don't just
Jews.
hate atheism, hate also atheists. Yeah. Don't hate polytheism, but also hate polytheists, which will be Christians will include polytheists.
But would that because in the Quran made a distinction between mushrikeen, Christians, and Jews. But in today's world, do you think it includes Christians as well because of Trinity?
No. Christians, the Christians in the Quran that are not considered to be polytheists are a special type of Christians that don't believe in the Trinity. Okay, the Christians that do believe in the Trinity,
they are mushriks.
They are mushrik. They're polytheists.
So basically, all the Catholics hate them.
All Christians. Like I don't even know. Like they're
Unitarian. They are Unitarian Christians. Small sect.
Small sect. The vast majority of Christians today will be considered to be polytheists, and not even Ahlul Kitab by the Quran. Like
they have different. They have their own book.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is it, guys. This Merry Christmas to everyone. But again, message to all our Muslims. Dr. Yasir Qadi has a message for all you guys. Saying Merry Christmas is not allowed in Islam. So remember this, my dear Muslims. This is it.
Saying
Merry Christmas is not allowed in Islam. So
it's shirk. It's shirk.
Yeah, it's just a disclaimer. You know, like every year, these Muslim these Muslim scholars keep reminding their fellow Muslim people that hey, don't be nice.
Yeah. Also, don't some atheists do this as well. Don't be that kind of atheist that says don't say Merry Christmas. Okay.
I say Happy Holidays.
If you don't want to see Merry Christmas as an atheist, don't say Merry Christmas. Say Happy Holidays. Okay. But don't tell other people not to say Merry Christmas. Okay. And especially other atheists. Okay. There are a lot of atheists, including myself, that want to say Merry Christmas, okay? Because we're not very religious about our atheism, okay? Because where does it stop? If you have a problem with say Merry Christmas because there's Christ in it, then do you also have a problem with Thursday because that's Thor's Day? Do you have a problem with Saturday because that's Saturn's Day? These are gods. So don't be dogmatic with your atheism. Don't be so picky. We one of the good things about leaving religion is that we don't have stupid rules that are just out of like dogmatism. Like this the way we look at rules is what makes our lives better. Not saying Merry Christmas doesn't make your life better. So enjoy saying Merry Christmas if you want, even as an atheist. Merry Krishnamas. Okay.
Doesn't roll on the tongue, but I get it.
Yeah.
All right. This is it.
All right, guys. Merry Christmas, everybody. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And if you would like to give us a Christmas gift, if you're financially secure, do not support us financially. Anybody, if you are financially struggling, especially this time when people spending so much money, save your money if you're struggling. But for those people who are comfortable, consider supporting Harris or me on our Patreon accounts. Harris, Superchats, Patreon, YouTube membership, PayPal. Yes. But if you can't, just like the video. That's also very helpful if you are struggling financially or you can't. Just liking the video really helps our channel. Leaving comments helps as well. Anyways, guys, Merry Christmas.
Don't say Merry Christmas. You're an atheist.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's in advance. Okay, love you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
We are no longer alive.